I can tell you when I arrived on scene here around 2 o'clock, I saw police officers removing several bins from this home. The Providence EMA, really the hub of communication for the city, and I want to show you some pretty neat technology that they have here. If you look over to my left, you can see those orange dots. Those represent the plows that are currently out on the roadway. All right, thanks for joining us, Brendan. Stay safe here. As we mentioned, you know, a lot of people walking around here. We talked to another gentleman a few moments ago. He said he was at the finish line. He looked very shaking, his hands still literally shaking, saying he was just worried about his family. In his case, luckily, everyone was okay. Again, we're going to hit the ground here, get some more information. As soon as we have that, we're going to bring that to you. Back to you guys. A surgeon here telling us that this is the worst carnage she has seen in her more than 15 years here, comparing it to something that she would expect to see during wartime. In the aftermath of the bombing, this was a familiar sight throughout the city of Boston.
No one's coming down here.
Here at Mass General Hospital, where many of the 100 victims are being or have been treated. Rhode Island State Troopers helped search a parking garage after a suspicious package is reported. Meanwhile, runners are still trying to cope. And that number has continued to climb throughout the day, 130 injured so far. We do anticipate that a news conference will get underway shortly. We'll bring you that information as soon as we have it. We're in Boston with the mobile newsroom. Nicole Estefan, Eyewitness News. Well, that's right, Patrick. Police are still investigating what led to this tragedy, but I'm going to let you take a look behind me here and see where all of this happened. It went off the pier here at the Newport Shipyard, and we've just learned this information in the last few minutes. Police say that it was submerged in only about 4 feet of water, but that the car did go in on its roof. It was around 6:30 this morning that a fuel delivery man showed up. He saw the submerged vehicle and called police. A red Hyundai is pulled from the water at the Newport Shipyard. The bodies of 3 women found inside. Onlookers react in shock.
It's tragic. It's unbelievable how just.
It's an unfortunate tragedy. I'm not quite sure what the circumstances were.
What led to this tragedy remains unclear, but Newport's police chief told the Newport Daily News the car may have missed a right-hand turn early Friday morning, driving straight into the water.
It was real foggy, so that might have been a problem.
According to one Coast Guard official, the car had been submerged for several hours before the first call came in around 6:30 Friday. The car does have Rhode Island plates. The identities of the 3 inside have not been released. Again, police still trying to figure out how all of this happened, what led to that car driving off of the pier. All we know at this point is it was very foggy this morning, but again, few details surrounding what led to this tragedy. Of course, we're working on getting those for you. We'll bring you that information as soon as we have it, and we'll have much more on this story tonight, live at 5. We're live in Newport with the mobile newsroom. Nicole Estefan, Eyewitness News. We are told it's the old Attleboro Dye Company. It's a fairly large mill, and here's the good news. We've been showing you that massive plume of smoke all morning. I'm going to step out of the shot here. You can see that it's certainly dissipated quite a bit. When we first arrived here, you could see that black smoke from miles away. That has calmed down, which is a good sign. That also means the flames are as well. But take a look at those flames. This is just about from a half hour ago. We were the only camera crew on the scene there capturing this video. Firefighters trying to keep those flames back, and here's why. There are 2 homes just feet away from the flames. Lots of abandoned vehicles there as well. Obviously, firefighters worried about some gas tanks. We saw them rushing around trying to move those vehicles fairly quickly. Several departments on scene here. When we first got over there, I can tell you those flames were just huge, massive, a lot of heat coming from that building. You've seen these mill fires before. They tend to burn very quickly and very hot, and that's exactly what we found when we were over there. We had the opportunity to speak with some neighbors, one of whom saw this on the news in Boston earlier this morning, rushed down here. He says he built the home just about a year ago. Listen to what he had to say.
I just came from work in Boston. I heard it on the news, so I just came home. Just got out of work. Lived here for like 40 years. My family has. Yeah, we have. We've always been concerned about it.
Yeah. I can tell you these flames were just about 10 feet from these homes. One of the neighbors out there hosing down the backyard, the trees in the backyard, trying to keep things cool. Now, at the time when we were over there, though the fire was close, they weren't in any immediate danger, but firefighters, again, trying to keep those flames back. We're going to continue to follow this story, have any updates for you. By the way, this was an abandoned building, no word on any injuries, and certainly the cause remains under investigation. Live this morning in Seekonk with the Mobile Newsroom, Nicole Estefan, Eyewitness News. Fire departments respond to over 65,000 calls related to carbon monoxide every year. The gas is also responsible for over 500 deaths annually. Despite those numbers, we've learned that carbon monoxide detectors are not required in nursing homes here in Rhode Island. This piercing sound can save your life, but we've uncovered some disturbing details about Rhode Island's laws regarding carbon monoxide detectors.
So I find it just amazing that we wouldn't have a law in the state to protect, some of the most vulnerable.
It is so wrong that this had to happen.
Lori Pendergast of North Smithfield knows firsthand how devastating carbon monoxide can be. Her brother Bill Moran died in this West Virginia hotel from CO poisoning in February. The hotel did not have carbon monoxide detectors, and they were not required to by Virginia's law.
No, it's still a shock. It's still hard to believe.
Target 12 dug deeper to find out what Rhode Island laws require. We found the state has some of the strictest fire codes in the country due to the Station nightclub tragedy. CO detectors are required in all homes, hotels, daycares, and college dorms. But we've uncovered what could be a glaring hole in the law.
Some occupancies that you might think would be required are not. Specifically, those would be healthcare facilities, hospitals, nursing homes.
Despite beefing up the codes for many other buildings, Rhode Island lawmakers never addressed nursing homes. Those facilities do not have to install CO detectors under federal law. Local safety experts tell us they've made it their policy to recommend all nursing homes voluntarily install carbon monoxide detectors.
Anytime that you add an extra level of protection, I think that's a good thing.
Target 12 contacted dozens of nursing homes in Rhode Island. Among them, we did not find a single one that has installed the potentially life-saving devices.
Because
those who have lost loved ones to this silent killer say more needs to be done.
I've taken care of patients in nursing homes, and they are the least able, along with children, they're the least able to tell us how they're feeling.
We spoke with the Rhode Island Healthcare Association as well as the Alliance for Better Long-Term Care as part of this report. Both groups tell us they would support a law requiring carbon monoxide detectors in all nursing homes here in Rhode Island. Nicole Estefan, Eyewitness News. In the middle of an interview, Governor Lincoln Chafee hastily turned the lights on this tree, marking the holiday season at the State House. He gave the media just 30 minutes notice, and the public none.
Well, last year, unfortunately, this event of turning this switch turned into what I thought was a very disrespectful gathering here to some of the performers.
He tells us because the protest that took place last year over this being called a holiday tree versus a Christmas tree, he felt the quiet lighting was more respectful. And what about you? Governor, what do you say to a lot of people who do look forward to this lighting every year? There are repeat visitors and people who like to see this. They're missing out this year.
Well, I regret what happened last year, and I don't take responsibility for it. I continued the practice the previous governors had done.
This couple came to look at the tree.
I think it's beautiful. And when did they light it?
Disappointed that they missed the lighting just moments earlier. Do you think the public should have been allowed to see the lighting?
I think they should have, yes. It's the state's Christmas tree.
Disappointed, but not missing the beauty of what stood before them.
I think if it means something to people to come here, they're going to come here and see it anyway.
Coming up at 6, we'll have more from the governor on this last-minute lighting that's now making headlines across the country. And before it airs on cable TV this evening, we'll have an exchange between Bill O'Reilly and Governor Chafee just moments before the tree was lit. We're live in Providence with the Mobile Newsroom. Nicole Estefan, Eyewitness News.